DITP, Thailand's trade link to Africa.
Each Thai dish relies on fresh and local ingredients, from lemongrass and searing chilies to plump seafood and crispy fried chicken. With a tropical abundance, a varied national menu is built around the 4 fundamental flavors: spicy, sweet, salty, and sour. Thanks to a booming tourist industry and government support of Thai food in restaurants worldwide, Thai food is considered one of the top 10 favorite cuisines. To ensure an authentic culinary experience at Thai restaurants across the globe, the government introduced the Thai Select and Thai Select Premium certifications. It is not an endorsement of the restaurant, but recognizes the authenticity of the food, the way it is prepared, and the ingredients used. A number of high-quality food products are also endorsed.
Our goal is also to make Thai food as famous as French cuisine. We would like it to be, on the level, the gourmet level of the other cuisine.
The Thai Delicious program sets high standards to help Thai restaurants across the globe serve authentic food. This scheme has already created standardized recipes for famous dishes like Tom Yam Goong and Pad Thai. These favorites are well known for their rich flavor, delicate preparation, and unique ingredients. It is hoped that the Thai Delicious scheme will improve the popularity of Thai food and boost exports.
If everybody know about Thai food, that means for the processed food or ready-to-eat food of Thai food can go everywhere.
Thai people enjoy a very healthy diet of fresh herbs and vegetables, a light portion of protein and rice, the local staple. Ingredients combine to create exquisite aromas, rich textures, and flavorful sauces for a perfect symphony of the senses. A variety is indeed the spice of life. One can literally have a different meal every day.
Each dish can have different flavors. Some, for example, curry can be sweet and a little bit salty. Stir fry can be salty and spicy. I think when you have one bite of food and you have different texture and different flavor within the same bite, that makes it interesting to eat.
I think for Thai people, taste is the first thing. They want the food with good taste, good aroma, flavor. Everything has to be perfect.
That's an old saying, in the Thai that, in the waterway there's fish, in the fields there's rice. That's indicative of how we think highly of food.
I think Thai people, naturally, we love food and we enjoy it and we want to share this with the world.
Thailand's extensive and varied food industry owes much to its diverse and competitive agricultural sector. It is the backbone of the country's social and economic well-being. Central Thailand is fed by numerous rivers and deltas thanks to the monsoon. The fertile plains produce a substantial volume of the country's most important crop, rice. An extensive irrigation system optimizes the use of water resources. But rice is not just a commodity. The grain has shaped Thailand's history, its landscape, culture, and economy over centuries. Professor Ian Tongdi, a historian at the Mahidol University in Bangkok, says that rice cultivation in Thailand can be traced back thousands of years, long before it was carried during early migrations throughout the region to China and India. He also tells us that rice is much more than just a staple food in Thailand. It is the knowledge of Thai people. Excavations indicate that the first inhabitants not only knew how to grow rice, but conserved water and even used domesticated water buffalo to plough fields, just as millions of Thai farmers are still doing today.
ข้าวเป็นต้นทุนทางวัฒนธรรมที่สำคัญยิ่งในเชิงของ
Professor Tongdi says rice is the source of everything, from the way Thai people live to how they do everything. It's a way of life. Have you had rice yet? Has always been the common greeting in Thailand.
สวัสดีค่ะสบายดีไหมคะวันนี้ทานอะไรแล้วหรือยังคะ
Rice is celebrated in music, paintings and poetry. It's tied to rituals, customs and festivals that follow the life cycle of rice throughout the year, just as people did centuries ago.
แล้วก็ดึงขึ้นมาอย่างเงี้ย
This 100-year-old calendar shows when to plant and when to harvest. The book also contains important knowledge about rice and cultivation, lessons learned over generations through information shared with surrounding communities. Thai people have a spiritual connection to rice. It is considered life itself. Professor Tongdi emphasizes that this humble grain has, through the years, taught Thai people to appreciate the value of things.
ก็มาจากเรื่องข้าวนะครับ
The goddess of rice, Me Posop, is always depicted with rice shafts in her hands. She is also thanked after each meal by raising two hands together. And since the Me Posop is the giver of health and wealth, it is considered rude and disrespectful to let any rice fall on the floor while eating or stepping over cooked rice.
Modern culture ที่
Professor Tongdi says it is important to remember the past and to honor traditions.
มันยังต่อสู้กันอยู่นะ
Thailand has long been celebrated as the rice bowl of the world. The country has been the world's largest exporter of rice for decades. In 2012, it produced around 20 million tons, half of which was exported. South Africa imports about 1 million tons annually, most in the form of parboiled rice. Significant quantities of rice are also shipped to West Africa, where cheaper broken rice is preferred. 3 billion people around the world, nearly half the world's population, eat rice every day.
We are the biggest and we were the champion in rice supply. And no countries in the world can really compete with us.
However, exports have been on the decline in recent years as the government sought to control prices in an effort to increase small farmers' standards of living. The result is a massive surplus. In 2012, Thailand lost its position as the world's top rice exporter, falling to third place. The biggest exporter of rice to southern Africa over the past 30 years is Vichai Sipraset. He is an expat from China and in some circles also known as Mr. Tastic. He knows the African and also the international market.
When you multiply high price to smaller volume, you get less money. That means even worse for Thai farmers. And this fact is beginning to dawn on our government thinking now, that perhaps high price is not good for our farmer. It has to be market price. Market price means the highest price that you still can sell. So we all have to come back to the market mechanism to set prices.
Thailand has roughly 10 million hectares under rice. Apart from a few medium and large farmers, 4 million farmers make a living on land seldom bigger than 2 hectares. For them, rice cultivation is labor-intensive, back-breaking work. The middleman collects the harvest and shares the rice cake with an estimated 3,000 large millers, 100 or so big exporters, and a multitude of smaller players. Thailand is blessed with over 6,000 rice varieties, including black and red rice. But only Jasmine Rice is famously synonymous with Thailand the world over. Also called homily, Jasmine rice is highly prized for its brilliant whiteness and distinctive aroma. It was discovered in the southeast of the country in the 1950s after a nationwide search for rice with high commercial value. Homily 105 rice turned out to be the fairest of them all.
Well, other countries, particularly United States, Australia, and I don't know where else, they want to imitate this jasmine rice, but they cannot. It's the location, it's the soil, it's the climate, it's the seed, so not so easy to replicate. There are something similar, but not as good as jasmine rice. Thai homily is probably the world's best rice.
Thai rice has been developed over more than 150 years through a consistent focus on long-grain varieties with excellent taste profiles. Research continues at 27 rice research institutes, one in each rice-growing area.
วิทยาศาสตร์มีสิ่งสำคัญก็คือตั้งแต่เราเริ่มผลิตพันธุ์ยันเก็บเกี่ยวแม้กระทั่งปัจจัยการผลิตทั้งหมดก็เกี่ยวข้องกับวิทยาศาสตร์ทั้งหมดเพราะว่าวิทยาศาสตร์นี่เป็นตัวทำให้เราสามารถวิเคราะห์สิ่งต่างๆได้แล้วก็สามารถปรับทำให้เราผลิตข้าวได้อย่างมีคุณภาพ
That's why Thai rice is superior in terms of cooking characteristics. And you don't see our competitors, whether from India, from Vietnam, or from wherever it is, to have similar long grains that we have. Thai rice is unique.
These days, the commodity has evolved into diverse and sophisticated products. Companies are spending big on research and development in an effort to grab the attention of an increasingly health-conscious and time-constrained consumer. Rice has even found its way into the spa and beauty products. Organic rice is also slowly making inroads. This niche market is driven by young agricultural experts and non-government organizations like the Sukha House, which buys, markets and sells organic rice from hundreds of certified organic farmers. Organically certified rice earns a premium of at least 20% more per ton.
In the same time, we will let the farmer help each other, like they help them to do the compost, organic compost by themselves, cut the cost. If they can cut the cost, it means they can get in more income also. And then every year, we will let the farmer come and we will train them at least 2 times per year. And then we hope to increase our yield and our farmer at least 20% per year.
Prominent role players and observers in the food industry are convinced that the range of organic products is expanding.
Most of the output from the organic industry from Thailand mainly are exported to Europe and America. No wonder, because their buying power in those markets is bigger. And the education, as I said before, that the people there, they have already known that what is the organic, what is the benefit of organic. That is the main reason that most of the output are aiming for the export market.
Producers recognize the benefits of organic food production. The aim is to make organic foods more accessible to more consumers and to expand markets for farmers and exporters alike.